Hey everyone!
We're back from like 2 seconds ago.
Yep, we're here.
It's Allan and
Houstan.
we're back with another podcast. We're doing 2 episodes today. So
two episodes of the program.
2 episodes.
So it's exciting. So
podcast.
This is the program. For those that don't know, the Allan&HoostanProgram program is the original series on this channel called. You're not gonna believe it. It's called the Allan&HoostanProgram. In fact, this show was so good that we named the whole channel after it.
Yeah.
So this series, this podcast is basically us talking about just generic issues. Yeah, maybe not issues, but yeah, generically anything. We'll talk about movies, some light music stuff. We have a whole separate
Talk about the
podcast for
food,
that.
like dinner that like I ate last night or whatever.
Exactly. Well, it's just a casual conversation between two friends we'll bond over a few different topics.
Right.
So that's what it is. So if you like that stuff, make sure to like and subscribe, or don't. You know, it was fun to see you. So
Yeah. Bye.
But today, if you decide that you want to stick around, good, because we got a cool topic for today. So if we fast forward, let's talk to the fans real quick right here. Hi fans, hi everyone.
Hi guys.
Thank you for the support on the last Halloween video. That was fantastic. It was like 40 something views. It was fantastic. So I want to thank you guys for that. Wasn't expecting it. So because of that, I was very upset. Me and him were both very upset about the ending of that video. The ending being that it cut off. And the reason it cut off is because we used to use an app called Blackmagic Camera, which tells us, the reason we use is so that way we kind of keep track of how long we can record for before we run out of storage. The problem is when you're recording 4K 60 frames per second for 35 minutes, your phone gets a little hot. And Blackmagic Camera wants to warn you about that and won't let you record. So we realized that it stopped recording 35 minutes in. And we were very upset about that, so we decided to post it anyways because we thought we did a really good job and we didn't have it in us to redo it. And we thought we did a good job. So we didn't want to remake it. So to make it up to you guys, we are going to be talking about Halloween today. And plus we also like talking about Halloween. So we would have been doing it anyways, even still if things worked out.
We ain't waiting till October for this. So.
No. But we got something planned for October that we're thinking.
Related to Halloween.
Yeah, we were thinking about it. We had to go back and forth. Should we talk about it or not? We decided, F it, let's do it anyways. Fantastic idea on this guy's part. So today we're going to be talking about our ranking of the Halloween films.
Something that you guys are even surprised. Like, wow, I'm surprised that they haven't even done a ranking video.
That's exactly what we said.
We're doing it.
That's exactly what we said.
We're doing it.
How have we not done this? We consider ourselves Halloween fans from the start. I mean, quite literally, this whole podcast, the first episode
was about the Halloween Ends trailer, and then
our
most popular video was watching our review of Halloween Ends, Lily mere moments after us watching it.
And believe it or not, our next most popular video was the one we did last time where we talked about the new TV show. So, of course, it was only logical that you guys wanted it, we wanted to do it, and I think we could all work together as a group. You guys out there in the audience, you guys wanted this, so today we're going to rank our Halloween films.
Yeah.
So
it's been a while, so babe.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of ums and uhs. We have not watched a Halloween film since we did Ends, believe it or not.
Yeah.
It's been a very long time. We have been very busy with work. We've been very busy with school.
And other things in our lives.
Yeah, it's been very busy. So we haven't gotten around to really watching all the new stuff, but we're kind of dusting off the cobwebs, and we're going to look back at some of our great films. I'm very fond of this. I'm very proud that we're able to do this.
Me too. Very excited.
I'm very excited. So let's get started.
How do you want to do this? You want to start from our least favorite to the top? Or
There's 14 films, right?
Holy shit. Can you guys believe that?
There's 14 of them.
Isn't there 13?
I don't think so.
All right, we're going to count. Let's count them.
All
right. The original, the sequel. Are we counting Season of the Witch?
Yeah.
Season of the Witch, 4, 5, 6, H2O, Resurrection, Rob Zombie 1, Rob Zombie 2, 2018, Kills, Ends.
Oh, 13.
So 13 films.
Okay. So,
How do you want to do this? 13 to 1 or 1 to 13?
Hmm.
I know a lot of people, when they do their rankings, they usually go from the bottom up.
Do they?
Because I can probably see why. Because when it comes to the films that they really love, They usually kind of go in depth with it, which is totally fine. But there's also nothing wrong with doing it the other way. Doesn't however you want to do it.
I think we should do it as a better way to kind of add some climactic response.
Okay.
We'll do our 12 and 13 in one shot. So it'll be like 12 and 13. So for my 12 and 13, I choose this film and this film. That way, the audience might have to guess which is our worst ranking.
So you want to start with our 13 and 12 first?
No, we could start with one, but obviously, if we've done 12 films, we obviously know what the 13th one is going to be because we haven't mentioned that one yet.
Right.
But at least if we do 12 and 13, you won't really know which one is worse than the other.
So for the end, when we get to that point, okay, yeah, we can do that.
So we'll start with one. That might be the easiest
So
way.
we'll go back and forth for each one.
Heck yeah.
All right,
Let's do
so kick it off, man.
All right, my favorite one is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Woohoo!
Unpopular opinion.
The good one.
Yeah,
Definitely a good one.
I have watched this film 4 times to date. I watched it with my girlfriend, who also really liked it. Also into Halloween. Also loves Rob Zombie. So Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is essentially the original Halloween 2.
In Rob Zombie's eyes.
And Rob Zombie's eyes. And we all know Rob Zombie. Great guy.
Mr. Jack you down. Sorry,
Yep.
I had to throw that in there.
No, you're good.
Shout out to Rob.
He's a great artist as well. So it was pretty interesting to see his take on it, and I like it. Obviously because it's my number one.
Kills were fucking crazy.
Yeah. I personally like a more violent Michael. Then again, I also share fan space with the Chucky guys, so I also like the Chucky franchise. So I do like my violence in films, and I think Halloween 2 is good. Yeah, I just like the amount of gore, and I think that is the Michael I like to see. So that's my number one ranking. What about you?
78. No, I'm just kidding. No, but
Who knew?
all right, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna put 78 at number 2, and it's a great film. And if it wasn't for 78, we wouldn't have the other films. But I gotta appreciate all of the other sequels. So I'm gonna go with it's probably greatest sequel ever in my eyes, 2018.
Okay, and what's your reasoning?
So I remember the first time I went to go see that in theaters, and I was blown away. I think they took what happened 40 years prior in 78, and they brought it into a more modernized setting with this. Michael Myers, once again, like in the original, escapes captivity and goes back and killing people. But with this movie, they really brought a lot of callbacks and really paid a lot of homage to the original. Like, some of my favorite moments in the movie was towards the beginning where he kills the 2 podcasters at the gas station garage, and the music plays, and the shot of him going into the trunk, seeing his mask and putting it on was just like a defying moment in that movie. One of them, that is, because it shows that the shape has returned, and it shows his obsession with that mask, because that's a big part of his personality. And kills were good. I mean, I know they weren't great, but they were solid for a H40 movie. The one-shot scene of him going from house to house, was great. And yeah, I mean, the mask was great, and the portrayal played by James Jude Courtney was a perfect hybrid of Rob Zombie's Michael, of Tyler Mane, and the original Nick Castle. It was a really good blend. He brings the intensity, but he brings the subtlety and like the kind of the thrilling value of the shape. And while the comedy is dumb, you got to remember a lot of those movies back then were the comedy and the dialogue was dumb. But we all know why the movies are made, and we all know why we're watching it to see Michael kill. So
Yep.
I loved it. I loved everything about it. Again, the callbacks, like this, like Lori being outside Allison's classroom, and then the whole cat and mouse thing at the end. I thought that was great. So Halloween 2018 is my favorite.
Sweet. And Halloween 78 for your second one, all right?
Yeah, but I will let you go for your number 2 because.
Okay. My number 2 is gonna be 4.
Good one.
I kind of like how they brought Michael back. Obviously, we all know 3 exists. So, yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I mean, it's not... I like the film a lot, but how many times have I seen that film?
Probably many times. Probably, I think more than... Well,
I think I've seen it three times.
that's like the first film out of all the ones that you've watched more, because I know H2O you've watched also multiple times as well, right?
I have, yes. So that one I think I watched three times. I watched it one time with him. I watched it another time by myself, and then I watched it last year with him and my girlfriend for Halloween. So that was fun. Dressed as Halloween for Michael.
He has,
well.
yeah, because he has the mask on. Then
You'll trust me. You guys will see that mask very soon. I'm just gonna tell you guys that. So, I like the film. I don't know. I don't really know what else to add to it because it has been a little while. It's been over a year. But I like the mask. I know it's a controversial opinion. So I do like that. I'm not a huge fan of the whole Thorn thing, but I think that film, although it's a part of the Thorn trilogy, it just doesn't have enough Thorn in it, I guess, to put it like that. So I do like the film. I like the mask. I like the atmosphere of it, and I like that Michael's back. So I would put that as my second film. It's always an enjoyable watch. Well, yours is 78.
yeah.
So
again, for all the diehard Halloween fans out there, don't come at me. Again, you see all these other lists out there. You know, this is my opinion. Again, I had to put a sequel up there first. The other Halloween films need a chance to be number one, but I'm never going to leave out 78. So 78, I mean, I'll say the same spiel. One of the greatest horror movies of all time, helped popularize the slasher thriller genre. You know, synonymous film. This is where Michael is the shape. And this is his true form. Everything about it was great. Yes, there was no gore, but the kills to me with the cheesy kind of like music. I mean, at that time it was scary. I bet people who went to go watch that in 78 for the first time were probably flipped the fuck out.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's just a great movie. The mask was great. The acting was great. Just the whole thing. The foundation was laid there. For many movies to come. So I'm not going to be like everyone else going on a tangent about 78. I mean, it's a great film, you know? But I feel like it's been, you know, explained by so many people already, you know? So, yeah. Again, still love the movie.
Okay.
Number 3.
Number 3. Huh. I gotta brainstorm one. So while I'm brainstorming, tell everybody what Halloween is.
So for people who don't know Halloween, no, we're not talking about the holiday. We all know what that is. The movie Halloween is about a 6-year-old boy named Michael Myers. It takes place in Haddonfield, Illinois, and it's a Halloween night in 1963. There's a POV shot of the camera moving towards the house, which basically is in the perspective of Michael Myers, a little 6-year-old boy who went to go trick-or-treating, but his sister decided, you know what, I'm going to go fool around with my boyfriend instead. So when the boyfriend's done, Michael grabs the kitchen knife, goes upstairs, and murders his sister. And then I think 20 years later, he's in Smith Grove Sanatorium. He escapes. And he goes on a killing spree. And he wears a white William Shatner death mask from Star Trek, wears a boiler jumpsuit, and again uses a kitchen knife as his weapon of mass destruction.
Well said. I'm gonna choose 6.
There we go.
So 6 is I actually like whatever they did with the camera in that film. Now, okay, first off, let me say, I do not like the Thorn trilogy. Let me just say that. Say that now, so that way I don't have to keep repeating it, because I know we have 5 to talk about. I don't like the Thorn trilogy, so just wanted to put that out there. However, as the film stands without the Thorn trilogy, I like the mask. I love, like I said, the camera. Like I was saying before, the camera, it has like a blue filter to it. I really like it. I don't know. It gives it an interesting look. I like the music in that film as well. It went for a more orchestral theme. I think it was. I mean, it has been a while too. Six is actually the last Halloween film I did watch. I think I watched it in November of last year, because I actually have a combo pack. So I have 3 films. I have H2O, 6, and Resurrection. And a lot of you guys might say, well, that's a shit combo pack because that's 3 bad films, and you know what? You might be right about that. But 6 is good. It's an underrated classic. And I love the camera. I love the mask. I love the story of it, minus the, why do I say story? Because that means I like
the whole foreign thing.
No, I guess what I'm saying is the way that the pacing is of the kills. Everything kind of happens for a reason, and I just love the lab scene at the end. I mean, it's not just so cool.
So you're talking about the theatrical version?
Oh yeah, because there's 2 different cuts. So I've actually never seen the director's cut before. I've only
one.
Yeah, I've never seen that one. I've only seen the theatrical cut, and that's the one that I have on my DVDs. The theatrical cut.
So it shows more of the gore, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I do like it, and like I said, that end scene where they're inside the lab, I liked it. You know, I thought that was pretty cool. So a lot of atmosphere to be taken there, but also even at the beginning, where it was either the hallway or the sewer at the hospital. That was a pretty thrilling scene as well. Of course, I think we also have a replica of the Halloween 2. The Halloween 2 nurse stabbing on the wall thing. That was in 6.
I think that was like how it was for 1. It pins them on the wall.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's what we have in 6. So, and I like that. So that was pretty cool. Cool homage to the past. Like I said, I didn't really. I thought it was 2. Suppose it was 1. But I do remember that was a. That's kind of one of the big kills in the Halloween franchise. Is that? So yeah, that's my choice 6.
Halloween 4.
Okay.
So, like what Hoosan said, definitely also one of my favorite sequels too. For as long as I can remember, that was one of the very first ones I also liked as well. When I first got into Halloween, I remember I had DirecTV cable, and there was on the AMC channel, they had a Halloween marathon, and one of the movies was Halloween 4. And this was me, I think, in middle school. Or high school, early high school, watching this in the afternoon, all by myself, in the house by myself. Yeah, and
did he come out and get you?
That's what I honestly thought. I had to look around a few times in the living room, like, is he gonna come out? But that was definitely one of them. Mask, I liked it. I know a lot of people don't like it. It's great, like Hoosan said. Atmosphere, they got down to a T. The kills were pretty solid. The characters were solid. While a lot of the dialogue is kind of goofy, and like the sound effects and the weapons were kind of dumb. Great story. Great story and a great return to the man, the myth, the legend. I did like the idea of having a child being a protagonist in the story. I feel like I wouldn't say that's the first time they did that, because they've done that with Chucky, but I like how they do that kind of whole thing of having, a child.
By the way, I'm still here. I'm just putting my list down on my phone. That's why.
Okay.
So just wanted to let you know.
No, you're good. Appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, the cliffhanger scene, I always talk about that. They could have built off of that so well, and I think the Thorn trilogy would have been a little bit better. I know people still wouldn't have liked it, but it would have been a little bit more polished, more improved than I think a lot of people would have liked it. But sadly, that won't happen now, but maybe in another universe. But yeah, Halloween 4, great sequel. That's my number 3.
All right. Well said. I love that film. For my number 4, I am keeping up the ant. Not the ant. I don't know. That was a bad choice of words. I'm upping the ant, and keeping with what I was saying, how I like a more aggressive Michael. So, what film do you think I'm going to choose for my number 4?
H2O.
All right. Well said. It is Halloween 2018.
Oh shit!
So this is different than the last time me and him privately talked about this, because yes, we do talk about Halloween all the time outside. Yeah, last time we talked about it, I think H2O was on there. But no, Halloween 2018. I think that was a really great way to reboot the franchise while paying homage to the past, but not sticking by the past, and continuing to push forward with a more aggressive Michael. For Halloween 2018, it would have been very easy for them to just follow the 1978 formula and have it more be like a thriller. I think 2018 is, I mean, some people might even say it's a thriller. I don't really see it as much of a thriller. I see it it has a lot more in common with Rob Zombie's Halloween than with the original 78, and I like that. It's aggressive, he looks ugly, and he plays ugly, and I love that version of Michael. I love the filter on the camera, has this gray tone, very little color, very little fun to be had in the film, and unless you count for all them, enormous amount of killing in the film, and a lot of good kills nonetheless, but more about kills later. What do you choose?
6.
Okay, let me know.
Another one of my favorite Halloween movies in the Thorn trilogy. I was a big Thorn trilogy guy. We're gonna pretend that 5 wasn't in the picture, but 6 was, like Houstan said, another great film. Watched both cuts. I remember really firsthand seeing the theatrical cut, the one cut that no one really liked. I liked it. For a while, I really digged the whole Thorn thing. After a while, I thought it was dumb and corny, but then it's like I could tolerate it. But I'm just there to see Michael kicking ass, killing people. And I know it's talking a little crazy, but I mean, come on, it's Michael Myers. This was the last film with George P. Wilbur, who returned to play Michael, but
Peace.
yes, he unfortunately passed last year, right?
Did he?
I think it was last year or the year before.
Might have been the year before. Poor guy.
But George P. Wilbur, believe it or not, played Michael in one of the cuts, because there's another guy who plays Michael. Michael plays... not Michael. There's like, I think someone plays Michael in the producer's cut, and then I think George P. Wilbur plays Michael in the theatrical.
Okay.
I believe. But great film. The mask. I actually have the mask here with me. I have Six's mask. I actually love Six's mask because it's the perfect blend of the original, but I also love the flavor they did with the kind of like the spiky hair. So it kind of adds some more character to it. So that's me. Halloween 6.
Okay.
Number 5.
Halloween Ends. No, wait, hold on. No, wait, I did that wrong. Sorry, hold up.
Everyone.
Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
There we go. See
that's
that segue?
That's your number 5.
Yep. See that segue I did it earlier? I said more about the kills later. Well, Kills is right here. That was bad. So, anyways, Halloween Kills. I don't know where to start with this film. It's all over the place. I had a lot of fun with that film. I watched that film a total of 3 times. Once with... once on my own. No, once with me and him. A second time with... Wait, hold on.
I only watched it once. I think I watched it with you.
You know what? I don't remember the order, but I know I saw it once with him and twice with my parents. And I still like the film. A lot of fun. Of course, who could forget that? Like that opening shot where he's holding the axe and looking out.
Walking out of the burning house.
Yeah.
If I were those fire guys, I'd be like...
I love when he just whacks the axe down. Oh my god.
Whatever that weapon was.
It was an axe. Yeah, it was an axe. He took an axe and he was holding on to it. I remember vaguely like he like slapped onto his other hand, but that might have been just a Fruit of the Loom moment. Probably never happened. But I love the kills in the film. My favorite kill, of course, if we're talking about Halloween kills, we got to talk about our favorite kills. I like when the nurse tries to go after him and he hits the door into her and she shoots herself.
What?
That is like such a cool slasher film. That's something that we would see in Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah.
And that's one of the fun ones.
The fact that she the dummy freaking wasted like 3 or 4 bullets first, and then he just was bitch. Stupid, but great.
A lot of fun was had with that film. I mean, obviously the story wasn't great. A lot of the Haddonfield Dice Tonight stuff was pretty crap. But a lot of the whole town thinking that some random guy from the psych ward was Michael was also stupid. A lot of stupid exposition. But we were there for the kills, and the kills didn't disappoint. So I want to say, great job with the kills. They were really aggressive, so I liked them. And I like the mask, that melted, burned, charred mask. That was an interesting look. It's cool to see evolving that original mask, see the way that they evolve it. So yeah,
Michael's peak at killing in that trilogy, by the way. His peak,
definitely
his peak.
So yeah, I like that.
My number 5 will be 81 Halloween, so the original sequel.
Okay.
So really fresh, like 3 years after the original, picks up where the original leaves off after Michael gets shot 6 times by Loomis and he disappears. He is running around. This time, Laurie, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, her character goes into the hospital after she was attacked. So this one was a great sequel. This was when Halloween was competing with Friday the 13th because 78 was such a success that other filming companies were like, you know what, we could take that and make our own. So Friday the 13th was born, and after John Carpenter and the Halloween crew saw Friday the 13th, like, we're going to clap back and we're going to make the sequel. A lot of Friday the 13th vibes in this movie. Definitely like the first one. Definitely more slow. Way. Actually, I think it's similarly the same slow pace. But I actually like it, though, because it kind of, again, adds that thrill and, like, on the edge of your seat kind of thing. It's like you never know when he's going to come. And I actually do dig the Michael in this one. He walks like a zombie. I think that adds to the whole idea. Is he human or is he supernatural? Like, what is this guy? The whole thing with the mask, the story with that was pretty fun. Deborah Hill, I believe she was I think she was a part of the whole filming company. She was a avid chain smoker, and she kept the original mask under her bed, and the smoke caused the mask to caused the mask to, I think, yellow, and the actor Dick Warlock gets stretched on his face. But I think it was really cool. That was an underrated portrayal. I love the atmosphere, the hospital, the dark, not lit well hallways. This is everything. My favorite kill probably is the scalpel kill, which was used in H2O, but it started there. Definitely, again, really good sequel. The whole sibling bit was kind of but again, I was just there for the kills. I do like I think it was the beginning or the end where they play Mr. Sandman. I like that because it adds something different. So yeah, that is my number 5.
Number 5. All right, let me see. You got a little checklist.
Okay.
So
we are on our number 6.
Guess I did 2018. I did Kills. Next one is H2O.
Okay.
Right out. This one holds 2 very special places in my heart. Number 1, best score. Best score, 100%. My favorite score in the franchise. Secondly, it also holds my personal record, for favorite atmosphere. H2O kind of has me thinking, not that we should really be applying logic to a horror film, but he's such a problem in Haddonfield. Now, I know, okay, he can follow. We know that. We've seen that in newer films. If he's such a problem in Haddonfield, why not leave? You know what I mean? Why don't they think of leaving early on in the series? Is what I mean. Why do we got to wait till the later films where they try to leave? I think H2O actually makes a lot more sense. They are trapped inside of I thought it was a college.
I think it's a college.
But it can also be a private school.
It's a private school, private college.
We'll just say private school, just to keep it simple. So it's a private school. They're stuck inside a private school that's gated in, and I think that adds more suspense to it. I think that was an unnecessary amount of suspense that we know we needed in the Halloween franchise, because Haddonfield, obviously it being a town, you're not boxed in. You could always leave. Whereas the school, you're kind of stuck in there. especially if it's at night, which is when Michael tends to kill, you're pretty much locked in with him. Because you know how the school policies, they don't want to let you out because it's dark, it can be dangerous out there. The only problem is when you have Michael there, the guy who seemingly can get into anything, now you're trapped inside and locked inside, and now you can't leave. We saw this because they plowed through the freaking fence at the end of that film, and yeah, I love the atmosphere in that film. Very dreary, but you actually feel like an actual sense of like insecurity because now you're locked in with this guy. Now, of course, we could talk all day about the mask. I'm a part of the club that doesn't like the way the mask fits on the face. I think the mask is fine. I just think the fact you can see his eyes ruins the whole mystique. Some people might argue differently, and I understand that it makes him seem as more human, because I guess we do kind of forget that he is human sometimes. However, I'm not a huge fan of seeing his eyes. It kind of looks a little goofy, especially that one scene where he's looking through the door. It looks a little silly. He looks like a deranged circus clown, but we can look past that. It's a fantastic film, and it is my number 6 pick. Right, 6?
Yeah.
All right. You too.
Definitely one of the best endings of all time.
Oh, that too. Yeah. Oh yeah, and the intro. Did we talk about the? Well, I talked about the soundtrack, but like, did we talk about the intro when they had like all the drawings of Michael?
Oh yeah,
that was pretty cool.
So. Tying into the other events of the other movies.
Yes. So. Can't forget that. So cool.
Number 6 for me, Rob Zombie Halloween 2.
Okay.
I'm not as big of a Rob Zombie fanatic as my pal over here, but out of those two, the second one has to be my favorite for the kills. Certain timelines, I can really give a shit about the story. I'm just there for the kills, and Rob Zombies is one of them. I do love the dream sequence scene of the nurse getting stabbed 17 times. I mean, come on, that's top 5 greatest Michael Myers kills ever. Michael's literally a hulking giant in this. And I do like, again, the aggressiveness of it, and I like how, like, in certain kills, he grunts to kind of show he's like a Neanderthal. A lot of people didn't like that. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm gonna ignore the whole white horse thing, like the white pony thing, and like Rob Zombie's wife being that, that basically is just Rob showing off his wife, but it's also showing the artistic side of Rob, which is fine, but personally it wasn't my thing, but I was just there for the kills, and Michael fucking kicks ass with the kills in this. So, Halloween Rob Zombie. Oh, Brad Dourif playing Brackett. Great performance with him.
He's always has a good.
From him being like all going cuckoo and primal with the pizza to like.
We all have a little
caveman, but then to like the scene of, believe it or not, Danielle Harris from Halloween 4 and 5, who plays Annie Brackett, the daughter in the Rob Zombie universe. Her death, his reaction, what's the word? His reaction was priceless, and it was just a great, just really gut wrenching scene, because it's like he just lost his daughter, and it's just great.
Well said.
So,
mine
number 7
is Halloween 2007, otherwise known as Rob Zombie's Halloween.
For the first time Rob Zombie, okay.
Yes. This film I do like. I tend to forget about this film. When I first saw it, we watched it together. That was the first time we saw it, and that film definitely is crazy. There's a lot of very dark themes in the film. Now, I like the dark themes. That's why I ranked it higher up on my list. But besides the darker themes, it was much more of a thriller. I guess more akin to 78. Maybe most people won't like that comparison, but to me, I look at it that it is much more similar to 1978, as it is completely different than its successor, Halloween 2. However, the reason I rank 2 further up than this one is because this film, in my opinion, besides all this drama, is a little dry. A lot of the kills are not up front. Now, do believe he kills a dog in this one.
That's the second one.
Is it?
I think the first one too. I don't remember.
I think the first one was more based on the family dynamic of them, more than Michelle, more of that type of stuff.
Yeah.
You get that if you guys have seen the film, you guys would know. So those who have seen the film, you remember that scene? Remember? More than Michelle.
Michelle. Oh, or there's the part where like, bitch, I will crawl over there and go fuck the shit. I was like, oh, okay.
All right. So yeah, there's a lot of that. It is. I would say it is kind of a funny film. Well,
A lot of funny moments.
There's a lot of funny moments. There we go. Funny film would. Yeah, there's suicide in that film. Probably don't want to say that. That's funny. But there were other parts in the film that were very funny. And more of I guess when a film can be that dark, you kind of tend to find light in certain things like that. And yeah, I thought it was a pretty good film. So, what's yours?
What is this, number 7?
Let's see. Yep.
Okay, so this one's gonna be out of the ordinary because it's not a Halloween film, but I loved it. Halloween 3: Season of the Witch.
Okay.
Now, when this movie first came out, people were like, wait, Halloween, all right, Michael Myers. Wait, where's Michael? This isn't Michael. Where's Michael? Michael. No. As a standalone 80s film, horror film, it's great. Yes, again, you're probably thinking, why are you including this? Did you really even want to include it? I mean, come on, I had to. Because Michael makes a cameo. They literally get a clip from the first movie into it, but I actually really liked Halloween 3: Seasons of the Witch because it was a pretty darn underrated good movie. The plot was sinister, effed up, creepy, horrifying, but it was so geniusly well put together. The characters were actually pretty solid. The score was great. The whole use of synthesizers to really show that 80s vibe. A lot of sci-fi kind of things in there. But it was actually pretty underrated. I loved it. I recently watched it for a second time around. 2 years ago when I was watching all the films. I actually loved it. I mean, the Silver Shamrock jingle, that's a classic. The masks. Great film. Again, yes, it has nothing to do with Michael Myers, but it is a pretty damn good standalone 80s horror film. I really still do believe they should have just called it Season of the Witch and not Halloween 3, because it would make more sense, especially for an anthology film. So,
yep.
I mean, the jingle, and then of course the infamous scene at the end where he's the commercial's still going, and he's trying to tell the broadcast stations, turn it off, stop it. I actually was a little creeped out because and it cuts to black. Cause what happened? Did the kids end up getting their skulls melted, or you never know what happens? And I think that was really eerie and really a little scary, but it was really good.
I'm gonna throw this in because it pertains to this as well. That is my next pick for my number 8.
So number 8. Okay.
And I actually think another creepy scene was when the whole family is inside the room.
The test, yeah,
and then it turned into ants or something.
His face. Well, the kids, because the kid has the helmet on, and the snakes and bugs fly out, and then they get killed.
Yeah,
that was.
I wouldn't recommend that film if you're sensitive to bugs.
Or how about the scene where the main character, he's fighting one of the guy's hitmen, and he goes like this, and things were coming out of him, because that shows that they're not human. They're like robots.
They're robots.
They're like animatronics. I heard that it was orange juice coming out of the guy's mouth.
For real?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, yep, that's my number 7. What about your number 8?
I'm just letting you know we're at 40 minutes.
Wow.
I know. So we have to speed it up.
Aw, okay.
I know that sucks.
Well, how long can we use the film?
Oh, we could go all the way up for an hour, but it's up to you if you'd like to.
Yeah, well, because we got to rank all the films.
All right. Well, I did 3, so now it's yours. What's your next one?
For 8?
Yeah.
Did you want to explain why?
I explained with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
H2O.
Okay.
I'm not really familiar with this film, as how you are very familiar. But I first watched, I really liked it. like what 2018 did. I liked how H2O paid a little homage to 78 with a slow-paced, thrilling edge to it. But I do like the idea of it being at a private school. But it also should demonstrate no matter where you go, Michael's always going to be there to chase after you. And I loved Jamie Lee Curtis's return of Laurie, but more of like more trauma following the events of 81's Halloween. She has a son that no one honestly, like they never brought up, but has a son. She's more on edge. This Michael is very more cunning and more smart. And I mean, LL Cool J, best rapper cameo in the whole film. Sorry, Busta. We'll get to that in a while. But LL Cool J's character was great. The twitching, the scalpel twitch kill was my favorite. The decapitation of his head was great. Yeah, it was underrated. I gotta give that film more of attention because I'm not really familiar with it. But based off the first watch, I actually thought it was really solid.
Cool. My next one is Halloween 2. I think this one holds...
Number 9.
What?
This is our number 9?
Number 9.
Okay.
This is the original Halloween 2. This one holds a personal record for mine as the second best score, intro score. I love the synthesizer score. Very cool. The reason I ranked it so high is, like the first one, it is still kind of dry for me. I know it's a thriller. It actually has a little bit more killing in it. Not much more, but a little bit more. It's inside a hospital, so that is kind of interesting. It adds a little bit more thrill to it, I guess, to it being a thriller. Because now, there's a certain sense of danger because they're locked in. It's very similar to H2O. So, yes, or H2O is more similar to it. So, yeah, that's where I rank that one. What's your next one?
My number 9, this is like kind of like the last in the list for like tolerable film. Not my favorite, but tolerable, and I think is pretty decent. Halloween Kills.
Okay.
Kind of like what you said earlier about kills. I was there for the kills, probably some of the greatest kills in the whole franchise. Plot and story was shit. The whole Evil Dies Tonight mob thing was dumb as hell. Like how do you confuse a midget mental patient for a 6-foot serial killer? Like how? But Mask was cool. Him emerging from the burning house was badass. The light bulb, my favorite kill probably has to be the light bulb to the throat, and then the woman just sees the guy getting stabbed with different knives. Very cool. Definitely was there for the kills, was not there for the story whatsoever. So that is my number 9. So we are 4 more films left.
What film do you think is my next one?
78.
Okay. It's not. It's Ends.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna say Ends as well.
For yours? For your next one?
For number 10. Yeah.
Okay. So this will be a conjoined one between the two of us.
Yeah.
So Ends, I think the Ends was kind of the Scooby-Doo film of Halloween, to put it in an interesting way. It was a mystery. Kind of like a whodunit sort of thing.
Yeah.
Was it Michael, or was it Michael's follower?
I think Corey Cunningham.
Yes, I like how we had new blood in the franchise. I think that was something we didn't know we needed. A lot of people don't like it. I get it. I think it succeeded as a way to end the Gordon Green trilogy. Now, was it the greatest film? No, I think it was a little long. However, I do like the ending, that they actually chose to kill off Michael as opposed to doing that whole Superman, Batman versus Superman moment and having Superman live, which completely undoes the whole thing. If Michael actually lived, controversial opinion here, so just warning you guys, if Michael lived, in my opinion, the movie would have sucked. Because that means that we would have waited for Michael to die, come to find out that he wasn't going to die. Because they very much hyped it that this was going to be the last one. This was going to be the end. And I'm kind of glad that they made it the end and stood by their word. So I know most people wouldn't like that, but I liked Ends like I said, New Blood I like. I like the fact that Michael, how do I explain it, has a follower. They finally did something with that unused plot point from Halloween 6, where you had, I always forget the guy's name, Ant-Man.
Oh, Paul Rudd, who played
Yes.
Tommy Doyle.
Yes, you had him as he was obsessed with Michael. So it was interesting to see them kind of do something with someone that's obsessed with that way of life. And so, Corey.
To basically sum it up, because I know I don't know how much time we have. I know we got the last few films, but yeah, they kind of overhyped it to be the final fight between Michael and Laurie, and then they just kind of throw with this whole thing. Okay, who's this Corey guy? He apparently kills a kid he babysitted, and now he's obsessed with Michael. Yeah, that kind of threw us, a little off guard. But I mean, he really did some gnarly kills. He was kind of like Michael's pupil. I did like the idea. It was kind of derived from Kills, when Laurie was giving her speech when Michael was slaughtering the mob at the end, where because of all the things that Michael has done to that town of Haddonfield for the past 40 years, it kind of drives people insane and to become monsters just like him. So to kind of see the whole town kind of being, oh great, now no matter what crime they're gonna think it's Michael, and then now with this whole thing happening with Corey, people are saying, oh, he's a monster, and that kind of what drove him to the edge. So it's kind of like Halloween 6, like what Houston said with the whole cult thing with Michael, but kind of with Kills, it's basically all of Michael's doing that makes people, fear. The whole idea of fear is what people get, and it just gets to desperateness, and then it gets to anger. So yeah, again, it showed more Corey than Michael. Again, Corey had some really good kills, like the blowtorch or the DJ's tongue spinning on the thing. And then we got to the final fight, where it's after we find out, okay, Corey kills himself because he was obsessed with Allison, and then Michael comes out of nowhere like that. So that whole final fight thing was just wasted. And then, honestly, again, I hate to say this, but I think it was good that they killed off Michael just for that sake. Now, if this was an alternate universe where they did something different, okay, then I'm in for it. But for this, I think that they did the right thing to kill off Michael, especially for that going on for so long. But some good moments of ends. I know from when we reacted to it afterwards for one of the first few Allan&HoostanProgram podcasts, we loved it. Excuse me. But after a while, kind of really taking a step back and seeing it, you can kind of really start to see where other people are coming from. But there's still some elements that we both like from it. So,
yep. Mine
11, right?
Yep. It would be 78.
Okay.
Now we're judging 78 not as the very first film, but as just a generic film. We are going to judge it as what it is, and it is in my opinion, a slow-paced slasher film. Of course, it is. We can't not respect it, which I do respect the movie, because obviously we wouldn't have the whole franchise around if it wasn't for the movie. We get that. But I think it's very slow-paced, and that's the reason why I put it. I think it took too long. I don't know. I know that might sound a little rough, but yeah, that's my.
It's your opinion.
Short and sweet. That's my listing. What's yours?
Before we get to the last two, and I think ours might be the same, but mine is going to be Rob Zombie's Halloween 1. Yes, it was interesting to kind of see Rob Zombie's take of what made Michael do what he does. Kind of focus on his childhood. How long do we have?
48.
Okay, perfect. So we're still good.
Yep.
So anyway, all the lyrics start. So Rob Zombie takes over, kind of dives into Michael's origin to see what made him become, this anonymous figure he is. Focus on his childhood, his upbringing. It's more of a white trash kind of hillbilly kind of upbringing here. His mom's a prostitute. His mom's boyfriend's, good morning, Mish. Yeah, very, very abusive. You can see that, very abusive. Like I said, Judith is more of I don't want to say the word, but kind of promiscuous girl.
That's what we used.
His obsession with animals and killing them, it kind of helps show where that anger comes from. This one. Now I'm not all for it because who gives a shit, but in a way when you think of realism, you can kind of this is a film where it makes you feel bad for the villain, because it's like he basically was just abused by like his mom's mom's boyfriend. This is his childhood wasn't the greatest, but that you can kind of see where like he descends into madness, especially in the scenes with Loomis at Smith's Grove, where you can kind of see his mental state and his regard for human life just skyfall and just drop, because he just has the obsession with the masks, the obsession with the color black, and just nothing, ceases to speak, and then is just So it's just the vulgar dialogue, too much swearing, and it was a little too much. And like Hoosan said earlier, it's kind of like 78, more like intensified. I just wasn't really there for it. So
sweet. The last two.
It's probably going to be the same.
So we're going to fire off. So I'll go, you go, and I'll go.
For both or one at a time?
You go first.
For both? For naming both?
For both, yep.
5. Resurrection.
Okay. Mine is Resurrection, then 5.
Okay.
So but roughly the same. They're roughly the same. Let's go over why it is quick. So me, I chose Resurrection first before 5 because Resurrection is a stupid film. I found it entertaining though. 5, I didn't like it. Doesn't seem like it understands the source material too well. Less enjoyable, kind of boring, drags on.
Me, the reason why I chose 5 over Resurrection, while both being terrible films, 5 I didn't like. You take the ending of 4 and you get this. I call it the goose alien pigeon mask. It was fucking terrible. I hated Tina. Should have been Rachel as the final girl. But in a way, that
is true though.
There kind of was the fall vibe was there. Michael using different fall farming harvesting tools was kind of cool to add to that. And I guess like the whole Cult of Thorn thing was kind of a little bit introduced, but it's not the greatest. But at least there was some somewhat decent action and some decent scary moments. And then Resurrection, I just fucking hated. Thought it was fucking stupid. Busta Rhymes was in it. I hated his portrayal. I honestly hated everyone's portrayal, but it was just a laughable film to see these idiots thinking, oh, they could survive a night in Michael Myers' house, thinking they're gonna live. Yeah. So
it is stupid.
Well, that is our ranking of every single Halloween film in the franchise.
Exactly. And we're roughly about an hour in. So a lot of people might wonder, well, why do we go this far? Well, you know what? We enjoyed talking about this one. It was a lot of fun. And you know what? Next episode is our 15th Allan and Hoostan program. And roughly about 2 months from, let's say around September time, so whenever this goes out, roughly 2 or 3 months from when this goes out, we would have been doing this program, Allan&Hoostan program, for 2 years already. And we started with this exact topic. So to pay homage, even though it's not the 15th episode special, we're just going to call it the 14th episode special. So here's basically 2 Allan and Hoostan programs in one. Essentially, it's kind of what this is. So we weren't really planning this. It was supposed to be a regular 35-minute video, but as we saw, we went on a tangent. We had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun talking about it. Seemed like he had a lot of fun. And we will be talking about Halloween very, very soon.
Very soon. Very, very soon.
Because we're getting really close to that time. So without further ado, we got another podcast I think we're going to film, right?
Like another 2 seconds, so.
Yep. So we're going to wrap this one up. So hopefully you guys did enjoy it. And
I'm Allan.
I'm Hoostan.
We'll see you guys in like 5 seconds. So.
Bye.
1, 2,
a 3, and bye.